This is Starquark speaking. Today I'll be using this time to talk about a few fun facts and some interesting things of amphibians. To start off, what are amphibians and what do they do? The male midwife toad hops around for about 4 weeks with a string of yellow eggs twisted around his back legs. Every so often, he dips the egg in the pool or a puddle to stop them drying out. When the eggs are ready to hatch, he takes them to a pool, and the tadpoles swim away. Well, this might sound like other amphibians. Midwife toads are carrying parents. Amphibians were the first vertebrates, which means that animals with backbones, to live on land, and the first to have 2 legs, tongues, ears, and voice boxes. Most amphibians live an adult life, partly on the land and partly in the water. Well, to be honest with you, in fact, there are 3 main groups of amphibians. And to be honest with you guys, there are only 3 groups of amphibian animals who live on our Earth. Salamanders and newts feed on small moving animals such as snails, slugs, and worms. Most are small and secretive, but giant salamanders grow up to 1.6 meters long. The second group, frogs and toads. There are also meat eaters. They have large white mouths to swallow the food that they catch on their long sticky tongues. Lastly, the third group, called Caecilian, look more like worms, but amphibians. They wriggle through the damp soils of tropical rainforests. On the top right corner, as you can see, there's a huge salamander standing right there on the page, which says the bright colors of the fire salamander warn predators of its poisonous skin. The poison is even powerful enough to kill small mammals. Which this paragraph basically tells us is that the brighter the animal's skin it is, the more attention, the more focus for a man should be aware of. At the bottom of the page, it shows that a frog has 3 stages in its life cycle: egg, tadpole, and adult frog. Let's take a closer look at it. In day 1, frog's soft eggs are protected by jelly-like covering. In day 10, eggs hatch into tadpoles with a tail but no legs. They breathe through gills. In about 7 to 13 weeks, as tadpoles grows, it loses its gill and develops lungs and legs. In about 70 weeks, the frog loses its tail and leaves the water. So this tells us a process how a frog became from a jelly-like covering to a frog itself. And what are the amphibian features? Let's take a further look at it. Well, amphibians do not usually have scales, and their skin is thin, loose-fitting, and moist. They usually live in damp places. A few give a birth to live young, but most mate and lay their eggs in the water. The eggs hatch into the tadpoles, which look very different from the adults. The tadpoles go through a series of changes called metamorphosis before becoming adults. So here's a very similar example for how it becomes. Sicilians use their heads like garden trowels to dig into the mud for worms, termites, and lizards. Adults have a small tentacle on the head to detect chemicals. Okay, that's all for today's show. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and that's always the best way to support me. Once again, thank you, and we'll continue with tomorrow. New updates twice a day. See you guys next time, and take care. Stay tuned.